Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Mailbox Power Mastermind call that happens almost every Monday morning. Sometimes holidays do stop us from having calls, but Martin Luther King Day is not stopping us from moving forward. Oh, he already made you a co-host. Good job. So Lulu can help people get in. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend, and it's good to see Machen's face. We don't usually see Machen on this call, so welcome to the call, Machen. We're glad to have you. He's looks like he's working on his computer. I don't know if he can hear us. So anyways, do anybody want to start with wins for the week? Mailbox Power wins.
Oh, wait a minute.
I can win. Whoops.
Oh, okay. Something happened. It was weird.
I don't know. Any wins? Nope. That's all right. It's a new, Teresa.
Hey, good morning, everybody. After last week's meeting, I can't remember who, I can see her face, but I can't remember her name. The suggestion was made about sending out that email for re-engaging for the birthday. Marie, that's it, Marie Benoit. And took her template, massaged it a little bit, and sent that out. And I've got 3 people so far who've raised their hand and said, you know, I'm really interested, let's get together. So good stuff.
Good, because I plan on doing the same thing, but haven't had a chance with last week being busy and then traveling. Lulu.
I forgot that I did the same thing. I didn't send it to everybody yet, but I did to a bunch of people, and I got 1 sign up for it. So
nice.
That's a win.
Yay!
Yeah.
Alan.
Well, I had a great demo with my nonprofit back in Massachusetts and shot them the link to the pro, which they're very excited about, and I look forward to helping them soon. So, Lulu, I may be in touch with you.
Okay.
Good job. And we all want to, I'm speaking for everybody, but I think we all want to hear more success stories for nonprofits. I know it can work for nonprofits. They are a tricky bunch of people to work with and to even get them to invest in the system to use it, or that's been my experience, because my experience is nonprofits want everybody to provide their services for free. And they're always looking for a donor to pay for it. So it's exciting to hear some more nonprofits coming on so that we have some more success stories to share that are from a nonprofit, not just from us that know it works. So awesome. Anybody else? Lulu?
Well, I signed up a nonprofit before right around Christmas, when I did that talk at my Friday networking meeting. And I'm meeting with them on Thursday. And I mean, they've already started using it, but I'm going to help them, finally, after the holidays are done, kind of get started. So I'm hoping to have some information to report.
Awesome. I think it was Irma that signed up a nonprofit. Was it Irma that had that great testimony that she put in the affiliate group a while back? Where there's solid numbers for a nonprofit, that another nonprofit says we went from this much in donations and it increased by 10% or 20% or even 5% after we put the program in place. So it's a direct result of putting the program in place. So look forward to those testimonies. Anybody else?
Nanette.
Oh,
So I have a nonprofit that's been with me doing Mailbox Power for probably 1.5 years now, and they love it. They are using it for staff birthday gifts and cards. but they're also in particular using it for Christmas cards. And they really are enjoying the freedom it gives them and the amount of time it saves them.
Awesome.
I don't have any data back from them, but I'll see if I can get some, see what they're doing.
That would be awesome.
You know, one thing that would be great is if you do have some nonprofits, if you get them to give you a testimonial,
Yeah.
those are always nice to be able to put up on your Facebook wall, or even just have in your back pocket, so you can show other nonprofits what is happening with them.
Yeah.
Early on, I had a nonprofit doing birthday gifts automatically, and I could never get them to understand the value of sending out a thank you card when somebody gave a donation, or I was thinking a postcard with a testimonial on it once a month that would highlight one of the beneficiaries of the nonprofit.
Yep.
You know,
So-
unfortunately, I think we all experience this. I mean, nonprofits, like Brenda said, constantly want donors, but they're not real good about saying thank you.
I
Donations, and I think that really does impact people who are actually donating to them, because they don't feel appreciated for the donation. So it really is important that they understand how important just saying a simple thank you for your donation is.
A perfect example is, we've heard this story. This is not our client, but it was a number of years ago. We had heard a story of a Boy Scout troop using a system to thank their clients and thank them for donations. And that Boy Scout troop, that gentleman that used to donated $100 every single year. They could count on it. It was money in the bank. They started sending thank yous, and that went immediately to 300.
Wow.
And then they had an event because they needed a new trailer for their troop to carry all the supplies for camping. And at the event, that donor was there and asked the question, what are we trying to raise funds for? How much? And they told them how much it was. I think it was like $2,600 or something like that. And he said, done. So we went from $100 donor to over $2,000 donor just because he was thanked.
I love
People
that.
want to know where their money's going. So many times we give to a nonprofit and we have no idea whether it went to administrative stuff, if it, if it really did any good. When nonprofits start thanking their donors and letting them know, not just a thank you, but this allowed us to do this community event. This allowed us to serve 50 people, 100 people, whatever it is, in whatever it is that nonprofit is trying to serve. When you start showing them the impact of their donations, they go up. And I've seen it multiple times.
I love that idea. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
We
And-
need to write that up, that
I love-
story, in a way that we could actually send it to the nonprofits that we all know.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be
Yeah.
great. And especially when, I don't know about where you guys live, but here there's so many nonprofits that fighting for the dollars. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
And the-
Colorado Springs is the
nonprofit center of
center of the US. Yeah.
And
They're-
so we have to impress upon them that, that every little bit counts, and every thank you and showing them where their money goes, I think will definitely work toward increasing that.
So I mentioned the postcard with a testimonial. We could easily put a QR code on there with a video testimonial attached and send one quarterly or send one monthly, because it is about what is the value that my money is being used for. Because I donated during an event recently and found out later that they had spent $10,000 on the guest speaker.
Wow.
What a misuse of money.
Yep.
You know, how many, the salaries that could have been paid out of that, the amount of people that could have been fed, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, get real, guys. I don't want to hear something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty common for nonprofits to have big galas and to find out how much it costs to put on that gala. There was a friend of mine that was totally against that. I have no idea how his nonprofit's going, but he's like, yep, I'm not doing that. I'd rather have $10 a month donations than to have somebody come and donate $100 or $200 or have a silent auction and all the costs that go into a large event. So as you're talking to nonprofits, you might give them other ideas other than putting on an extravagant. I mean, they're fun. Let's be real. They are fun to go to those type of galas, but is it really, like you said, does the gala produce more than enough to cover the gala and more? And could they do something else that provides the same benefit money-wise to the organization?
Without the paying out of the money to hold the event, unless a lot of that is being donated, that's one thing. But anyway.
Yep. Good. Machen, and then Marie.
Hey, happy Martin Luther King Day.
Hi.
Just saying, I get these cards from the food bank. I just had like this anecdotal realization in the chat y'all are having and why I was able to define who it is that I, as a donor, put money into. And I used to get cards from the food bank when I was like a user of the food bank. And they would send like these cards to my house. I'd go, this is ridiculous. Look at all this waste. You know, I can't believe they would send this stuff to my house when they could be like feeding people. Like I could use a can of beans. Like it was like a mindset thing. And then I tried to find like different places to donate because I heard like in business, you know, we like put 10% back, we put 10% in. And I work with a bunch of nonprofits and they raise funds for all sorts of things and therapies of counseling or food or whatever. I chose where I put the majority of my funds, the majority of my time, the majority of my energy is at the food bank. And there's a whole bunch of different reasons. Part of it is because they give you a calendar of the events. They show you in mail what's going on. And also as a donor, when you hit $10,000, by that time, they've like announced you on social media. They've sent out direct mail to all of their readers. They've had an event where they've put you as like the sponsor for the event. They write a big check and put your name in the paper. You know, they do that like big check writing thing. And so as a business, there's reasons that people choose to work with and put their money into a foundation. Part of that is the reciprocity of commerce there. So if you want to be of value to your donators, maybe you could build a system that does what we all know: giftology, recognize, appreciate, think, act like a business owner, that sort of stuff, acknowledge, celebrate, think. And in doing so, you can get somebody who now my life mission is to provide the next 30 years of my life to the food bank so I can inspire somebody else once I'm gone to take over that mission. And they just did that through like, they just, you know, I used the service. I became like, I saw it. And as I got older and I found like where I wanted to put my time, they kept saying like, write a check, write a check, write a check. I'm like, I don't want to write a check. It feels like a waste. So I went in there and I saw what they were doing and found out what their mission was super simple. So they just kept hammering every piece of content they send to me, every piece of content they co-brand, every time they shout out, it's $1 equals 7 meals. They just say what it is they do.
Yep.
And so it helped clarity, and direct mail is how they did it. I mean, at first though, I had that same thing, like, why would they spend money on this? And so now on the flip side, I could see, why would they spend money on this? Well, they can take somebody from being a subscriber, a one-time donator, to a lifetime donator, and there's a bunch of different benefits in that for the person too, like, you know, as the business, all sorts of stuff. So anyhow, I just had to say.
Thank you, Machen.
Of
Marie?
course.
So I was going to just add something to what Nanette said about the postcard with the QR code. I think that's an excellent idea. I would like to see the video very short, sweet, to the point, because people are not going to watch those long interviews that Wendy did with you know, for testimonials, but to really ask someone if they wouldn't mind creating a video and tell them exactly, you know, this is what we want on the video, you know, that would be helpful for us on the video.
Mhm.
And just, you know, share the story in print, the QR code so they can see the person actually saying it. I think that's powerful.
Yeah, I do. I think that is huge, because people, I don't know, when you read print, do you sometimes be like, really? Have you ever questioned print? But if you see somebody on a testimonial, there's so much more behind it, because you get to see their emotion. You get to see that it's real. It's not just text on a piece of paper.
Right.
So-
And also if the text is there, because, you know, you watch the video first and you hear what's said and you're going, wow, what, I want to write those stats down or whatever, and they're right there for you. You don't have to go back and re-listen. I just think it's powerful. I'm just thinking about a series of postcards that the name I came up with is Here's How. So want to
Ooh.
increase your donations? Here's how. So it's
Here's
just
how.
a series. Here's how.
Here's how. I like that. We've, as a group, the group that's here, if everybody put, so your assignment is, here's how. I want you to think of the nonprofits you've worked with or the nonprofits you would like to work with. Here's how you can increase your donations. And everybody put a suggestion out in the affiliate group. And if we did that, gee, let's see, there are more than 12 people here. So that would be one postcard a month, unless it's a duplicate idea. But we've almost got the 12 ideas right here on this screen, and somebody might have 2 or 3, and it's okay to share 2 or 3, and then you can pick and choose, and we would all have a yearly automation for a nonprofit. I love it. We just accomplished, or we potentially have accomplished something really big this morning. Linda.
Well, I would say we should expand that. Not only, I don't work with nonprofits particularly, but I've just recently signed up a plumber and a window washer. On how fun would it be to send out any business that said, here's how this plumbing business, grew their business. Here's how this Mary Kay gal increased her business by doing birthdays. I mean, it's a totally brilliant idea. And I absolutely agree with Marie. Just give us a little blurb of video, not, don't tell us the history of the world, just solve the problem and tell us how it's, been going. I'm hoping Mailbox Power is listening to that, because they would be a perfect little project to have happen. I have a few testimonials, but they're long, and I need to get them out. My question this week was going to be, what do I do with these testimonials?
So
For people, yeah.
Suggestion. You said you have lots of long testimonials. Are there sound bites out of those testimonials you could use if you could easily edit the video?
They're not on video, and they don't want to get on video. So I have to work on that. I have to work on that. So, but how do you get that? I mean, it's perfect to do it on a video. I need to strong arm a couple of people and say, hey, you look fine. Let's do it. So anyway,
maybe bribe them with a Starbucks coffee or
I don't think that'll work, but I think I can, I can do it. But anyway, Marie, it was all of you. This is a perfect example and doesn't have to be just nonprofits.
Well, and I think once we get a couple of them, then you can go back to Linda, for example, the ones who said, no, I don't want to be on video. And they just see that it's just regular people sharing their story. I think we're then more likely to get more who will participate.
Agree.
I thought.
I would agree. I would
Yeah.
totally agree.
You know, the other thing too, Marie, if you're doing a lot of Zoom meetings and you're talking to people anyway, and you're recording it, I think it's a whole lot easier for them to give you that testimonial while they're actually just in a conversation with you. If you
Right.
tell them, you know, tell me about this and just let them talk.
Yeah, I like that.
Just get in the habit of recording. Mike gave me that idea at one point. He's like, are you recording this? I'm like, no. So I had to ask the person, is it okay if I turn on the record button and we just chat, you know, a normal chat about your success? And they did, and they normally wouldn't just, if you took an iPhone or something, put it in their
Sure.
face, they would not do it. But if you are in the habit of hitting record on your meetings and you can tell your customer, hey, I'm recording this because there may be something in here that you're going to want to re-listen to, especially if you're doing training. And then you can send them a copy of the video. But if they've given you a testimony, now you can cut that small portion out and use it.
Love it.
Brian.
It probably goes without saying that all chambers should be affiliates and then teaching their members to be using the system. But I'm actually going after chambers for Mailbox Power in my other business I can offer 2 different non-dues revenue streams for them. And, you know, Mailbox Power is one of them. There's an organization that actually is an association of other chambers within the area. And I was talking with them. I got their member list and I put together a postcard with a QR code, and 225 members, 20 of them came back, whatever. I'm talking to the president or whatever. I'm like, I don't know what about your list. It's a little 20 came back, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, we don't do a lot in the mail. It's all email. I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you missing out on?
Yeah.
So I'm dripping on her as she is one of the ambassadors for the chamber I'm in, as I drip on them and use the system just to show what they can do. And hopefully that goes through to them and like, oh yeah, maybe we should offer this to the other chambers that are in our group and then teach them and go from there. So we just see what happens.
So can I give you a suggestion, Brian?
Sure.
So if they're doing newsletters and you're one that's getting that newsletter via email, go to the email that you get and pull out what you think the most important piece of that newsletter is, that email newsletter, and send a postcard back to them. If you want them to do it via postcards or cards, build something that shows, and then they can see how they can layer on top of their email, their digital, a print version. And then they may say, I've heard other chambers or other organizations that this has worked for. I have a heart for helping this chamber succeed and grow. I would love, would you be interested in doing a 90-day membership to try this out? Sending out postcards that bring out that one main point in the email. I have a chiropractor that's talked about it for a while and they haven't implemented it yet. And I just think I don't have a success story yet, but I can see how that could be hugely powerful. Somebody gets the postcard and never opens the email, and the postcard references the email. Now email open rates go up because now they're going back. Oh, I like that. Now let me go check the email because there's more there.
Right. Yeah, that's a good idea. And actually the chamber I'm in, they actually sent out a card for Happy New Year and whatever. It's nice that they actually are doing something, but I got a sticky address label on the front and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to be working on my own chamber and see what I can do with them.
Well, and I would have them put it down on paper. What did it cost them to do? And this is where people fail to show the value of Mailbox Power. Is a lot of times they're like, yeah, but the cards were free and we had a volunteer stuff them, and then they had to pay for the stamps, or we went and bought boxed cards and they were, 10 cents a piece or whatever. But how much time did it take for the volunteers? Yes, they're free, but how much time did it take the volunteers to stuff them and put the address labels on? And how much were the address labels in the ink? And if you could have those 5 hours or whatever hours back for those volunteers to do something else, how much money could it have brought into the organization? So if you can do a true comparison of the costs and time, because time costs money, even if it's a volunteer, they could have been doing something maybe that would bring more money into the chamber. Any other thoughts? This happens to be a nonprofit. So if you're watching this replay, it's a great nonprofit talk. Lulu.
And I think the same goes for churches. I'm working on a couple of churches as well, and suggesting that if, and actually this was your suggestion a while back, Brenda, is to have one of their sponsors or donors or board members pay for the subscription. And so that's something that I'm working on as well. So same principles apply. Here's where your money goes. Here's the, the result of our backpack drive or whatever it is that the churches do to reach out in the community.
Yeah, with churches, I can think of grow your membership. Here's how.
Yes.
Grow your donations. Here's how.
Yep.
I love that. I
love it. Thanks, Marie, and everybody for the great suggestions on nonprofits today. I think this is valuable information for everybody to be able to take away. And don't forget to go into the affiliate group. And I mean, even in the user group, because the user group might have some nonprofits or some businesses that are struggling with the system, and they're thinking about canceling, but they might be in that group, and here's how to grow your donations, here's how to grow your membership, whatever it might be, here's how to increase the number of appointments you have on your books for an HVAC or a plumber. Any of those type of things might help us to keep customers that are already on the books if we put them in the the official Mailbox Power page that wouldn't, because now they're like, ooh, I didn't think about that. And it might spark an idea for them to then go use the system more in a different way that provides better results.
Did you have something, Machen? Machen?
Yes, I did. I was thinking events, using what we have to bring not only like total strangers, but your existing list. Like we've all discussed different ways to connect with our existing list and everything, but driving to events and mini events that represent what your nonprofit's about, whether it's a luncheon or something like that, and having a way to invite 100 people in a way that maybe encourages them to invite others through that piece of mail, like, hold this up and share it with a hashtag or whatever that involves a whole loop, like y'all are talking about, getting them into the mail and back to the email and back to the website and back to the organization. So yeah, you could read my mind.
I was like, I bet Machen's in on this with the digital and mixing digital with print, because that's what Machen's all about.
Yeah, we just sent out a big event card, put a QR code on it, drove it back to a landing page. Landing page goes to your event software, whatever you use that gets tickets or whatever. And then that way there was a way to communicate all the details of the event and how to show up and where to be, and that there was going to be breakfast or no breakfast or whatever. And that took it from being like, show up, give me your money, to, hey, this is an event. Let's have a relationship here, and like this, what this event's about. Like, have fun. And anyhow, I could go on and on for hours. So thank you.
So
And I will put an idea into the group. I've got an idea that I'm gonna put in there.
I just
Awesome.
thought of something as you were talking, Machen. For those that are big on digital, the abandoned cart. And we don't necessarily always know who abandons the cart, but with print and with our executive account and the dynamic QR code, they go to the page to buy, and the phone rings, the kid screams, whatever, and they get pulled away and they never get the ticket bought. But now you know who went to that page and you can reach out to them and follow up. So I think I know I'm talking Machen's language right now, and he's happy.
I'm making sure I take note just to make sure that when somebody, does abandon your cart, not only are you sending direct mail, but you can give a way to incentivize them to return. That's not just like one touch, but 10, 12, whatever, that's not super expensive. Everybody's using email. People pick up the phone and they have a very hard time ignoring a package or piece of mail with their name on it. It's very difficult.
Yes, it is. It's definitely a way to warm, or Joe used to say it all the time, and I think Joe's the one that came up with the brownie points card, trying to earn brownie points. I'm gonna be honest, here's a package, I'm trying to earn brownie points with you. And I think it makes so many people smile and it gets a reaction. And that's what you're looking for. The reaction may be, yeah, I'm not interested, but at least you get them to move to a yes or a no and off of the maybe. So awesome discussion today. Thanks everyone for all the ideas. And we look forward to hearing everybody's ideas next week and your wins. So with that, I hope you all have a fabulous week.
And before we leave, just want to remind everyone, like Neil did last week, that we do have an affiliate call on Wednesdays now.
Yes.
Every Wednesday of the week. So
and if you didn't see the email, it's not just Wednesday morning. There's a Wednesday at, I believe it's Marie will probably be able to find it quicker than me. It's Wednesday,
3 o'clock Eastern.
3 o'clock
Oh.
Eastern at 1 o'clock Mountain, so noon. There is a training call. I believe that's with Wendy and Damar. There is also now Bobby Joe is doing open office hours for customers where they can actually get on Zoom. It's an open Zoom for an hour, I think just about every day of the week. So go find your email. If you've been ignoring them, go look at the email that came out with all of the new opportunities for customers and affiliates to be trained. Because there's a lot of opportunities. We're going back to about a year or so ago when we were doing lots of trainings and lots of opportunities to hop in and learn. So with that, I hope you all have an awesome week. If I find it, I'll put it in the affiliate group and put it up so that it's up at the top. So have a great week, everyone.
Nice
Thank
seeing
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.